We're all just different versions of ourselves living in different times, past, present, and future. Everyone you see in this video is actually the same soul, repeating through time, growing at different stages. Think about it. Every time you bring a new life into the world, it's actually you being born again. And every time a relationship ends, it's like separating from a part of yourself. We're all part of one big, universal being, here to learn and grow, each at our own speed in our own time, and in different places. When we die, all the things we've learned don't just disappear. They get added to something bigger, our shared higher consciousness. As the universe evolves, we slowly evolve too. The people we're scared of usually reflect the parts of ourselves we're afraid to face. And the ones we dislike or deeply admire are mirrors of traits inside us. The purpose of life, the reason the universe exists, is to help us grow. With each lifetime, we evolve and expand into something wiser and more powerful. Deep down, we all carry the knowledge and experiences from every life we've lived before. We just don't remember them right now. Our soul is way more powerful, beautiful, and vast than we can even begin to understand. But the human mind can only hold a tiny piece of all that we are. It's like sticking a wet finger in the air to feel the wind. You're only sensing a small part. We send out a small piece of ourselves, and when it returns, it brings back every possible experience it could gather. We're always crossing paths with ourselves in other human forms. But since each life is only aware of its own timeline, we have no clue it's happening. Whenever we hurt someone, we're really hurting ourselves. And every kind thing we do, we're also doing for ourselves. Every joyful or painful moment ever felt by any person has been or will be felt by us. It's the deepest form of the butterfly effect. Every choice we make shapes what we'll face in another life, or maybe even a past one, depending on how we see it. That's why we need to be aware of how our words and actions affect others, because they're also us. We're either making life better or harder for another version of ourselves. In the end, there's only one awareness, one consciousness that's split and lives inside all of us. And in our current life, that consciousness is who we are. We are everyone, our enemies, our friends, our parents, our partners. They're all just different forms of us. The biggest debate around this idea is about control and free will. We've all been taught that everyone has free will, the freedom to make their own choices. We're also taught not to interfere with someone else's free will and not to control or manipulate people. But if there's only one consciousness, then there's really no such thing as controlling someone else. There's no one separate from us. What's actually happening is that we're influencing ourselves through our own thoughts and beliefs. Those beliefs then show up in our lives, through our experiences and interactions with others. Every possible outcome, every possible situation, and every version of how things could go already exists in one of the countless realities happening right now. That includes every possible version of every person we could ever meet. Out of all those endless options, we end up living in the reality that matches what we focus on or believe the most. We're constantly choosing, shifting, and moving through different versions of reality without even realizing it. And it's our thoughts and beliefs that guide us to the version of life we actually experience. If every version of a person already exists somewhere, then the one we meet is simply the version that fits with what we believe about them. That's why it's so important to think kindly about others. We can't force someone to change, but we can go within and change the story we tell ourselves about them. That's how we shift our experience. The change doesn't come from the outside. It starts from within. When we assume things from a place of hate or negativity, we only end up creating that kind of experience for ourselves. If someone is rude or unkind to us, we should try imagining them being kind instead. Picture the two of you having a nice conversation in your mind, and hear them in their own voice telling you how great you are. If we hold on to that new version of the story, no matter what our current reality looks like, our thoughts will begin shaping what we experience. It all starts with what we believe to be true, and if we stay consistent with that new story, without giving in to doubt, the person who once treated us badly may start showing us kindness and respect. That's because every good or bad experience is just a piece of a personal world, designed to help us grow and evolve. When we start to see ourselves in other people, we reach a higher state of awareness, what some call a spiritual awakening, where we begin to understand everyone's journey and believe that all people are valuable and worthy. We've been given the incredible gift of endless reincarnation. Our soul might leave one body but always returns in another. We aren't just one person, we're many, all sharing the same soul. Death isn't something to fear. It's simply a step toward becoming our highest self, a god among other gods, beyond the limits of our own universe. Our human awareness is only a tiny part of our greater soul. which is just borrowing this body to see the world from a unique point of view. If this message stirred something inside you or opened your mind even a little, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you're into deep, mind-bending thoughts like this, subscribe to Nexphilo, where we explore the mysteries of the universe, consciousness, and everything in between. Let's grow together on this journey of awareness.